Welcome back. My name is Jay Oza. I teach, mentor, and coach people on public speaking so that they can give winning high stakes speeches, whether it's for a job interview, a business meeting, or even at a conference. Today, I want to talk about something that's very important for your success, and it is pitching. We all have to pitch. Now, in this video, I'm just going to talk about pitching and then what are the likely response you should get back that you should expect. Pitching is very important to success because unless you're pitching, the other person isn't going to know you. So you have to do the due diligence. You have to come up with a compelling pitch. Now, I'm not going to go into the art of pitching. We can do that in a separate video. Assume you know how to do all that. You've done all the due diligence. You've done the research. You're targeting the right person. You've got all the hot buttons taken care of. Now you got the pitch down in 3-4 sentences. Send it. Now what happens? Okay, so you've done all that. There are several answers. Most people think that you should get either a yes or a no. That's not correct. There are several answers here that's likely to come back. And then there's one answer that's simply unacceptable. The pitch you're doing has to be an ask, because all pitches are essentially an ask, but not just an ask. It's an ask with a purpose where you've done your homework, okay? So let's make that clear. This is not like I'm going to wildly blast email to thousands of people and see how many respond. That's not what we're talking about. This is targeted pitch to people that you either read their book, you follow them for a while. There is something there that you want to at least explore, and that's what you're pitching here. Okay, so again, we'll do a separate video on what should the pitch really contain and what do you do in crafting this email, and that in itself is a separate topic. You can even write books on that, so I'm not going to cover that here. So you sent it. Now what should happen? Now I do this a lot. I send out pitches all the time. Pitches have to do with having somebody to come on my YouTube show, so I send them a pitch. Okay, now there are several yes answers. It's not simple as yes. There are different ways of saying yes. The best answer, of course, is hell yes. Let's do it right away. Okay, that's the best answer. The second one is I like your pitch. Yes, let's do it. Set up a time and we can get on the calendar and we can do it. Okay. Then there's yes and, where the person likes the pitch but wants to make a few changes. And that's fine too, because you're the one who's pitching and that person should have the right to do that, and that's fine. The fourth one is yes, but. That's the one I usually get. Yes, but. Means that they have time constraints. They got other things going on. You're not a top priority. You're just pitching something which is going to come in. They're going to fulfill your pitch based on their availability and when they want to do it. And that could mean you're going to have to wait. But at some point, it will get done. So all the yeses will get done. The question is, in what ways? Now, sometimes people, but there is another yes, which is really a polite no, where they'll give you a time frame which is so ridiculous that it's really a no, but it's couched as a yes. Yes with a big uppercase but, B-U-T, uppercase but, means I want to do it, but it's going to take me 6 months, which is really a polite no. Okay, so I just want to make sure that you understand that when you get that, yes, with the uppercase but, where the timeline is so far away, that's really a polite no. Okay, so I'm not going to put that in the no category since it's not outright no. It is a yes, but it's really a no. Okay, so now let's get to the no's. Okay, one is simple no. No. And that's not really a good answer, but at least it's a no. It's a response you got back, and it's a no. Okay. A better no is no because I'm not interested or whatever. That's a good answer. Third no could be no because what you're doing doesn't align with my strategy, and I don't want to pursue this. Okay, you got the answer and an explanation, and that's a good no. Okay, so those are 3 possible, and sometimes there could be a no, saying no unless, which I haven't seen it, but I'm sure there are people out there, no unless you pay me this much money or something like that, which is not likely, but they didn't tell you no, definitely no. Okay, so there are 3-4 different variations of no. But there's one answer which is the worst. And it's not yes, it's not no. It's, I call it ignore. There is no reason when you send a pitch to somebody, it should be ever ignored. Ignore is just simply unacceptable. I don't care who you are. When you ignore somebody, you're making a real personal statement. That personal statement is, you just don't even matter that I need to even respond. Now, I'm not talking about like, you know, spamming the people. I'm talking about targeted pitch where you've done your due diligence, where you definitely show them what the benefit for them is, and they can say, you know, it's a good pitch, but I'm going to kindly decline it. That's a great answer, by the way, okay? They have the right to decline it, and that is absolutely a great answer. You have the right to decline it, but at least respond. The one that really ticks me off is the ignore. Ignore is a person is saying, you're just not even worthy for me to even respond. And that's why I always tell people that if you send a pitch to anybody, if they don't even respond, it tells you about them. I don't care whoever it is. It could be the President of the United States, could be Oprah Winfrey, it could be anybody. When there is no response coming back, it's more of them saying that I don't think you're even worth it. They might have all kinds of marketing and PR and all that to make them look like they're great. But at the end, I hate to say this, they're lowlifes. Because if you're a public figure where your status is based on how the adulation of the public, you at least owe the people that that they're following you or whatever, at least a response. So I'll give you an example. I make political contributions to politicians. And I find out, as I'm working on my book right now, that I need a blurb. I send them, they have a website saying, okay, if you have any questions or something, send it to me. So I send it to several of them. They're very famous, by the way, okay? These are not like people you've never heard of. And guess what happened? Didn't hear back from it. Now you might say, well, Jay, well, they're busy. Of course they're busy. That's why they took this job. They had to be busy, right? To be a politician. But that's why they have staff. They have staff whose job is to make sure that when I send something, they at least have the courtesy to respond. They didn't. And you know what? That is not a good thing to do, because I'm recording this and I want you to know that when you send a pitch of any sort to anybody, at least they have to respond by saying no and decline it politely or whatever. Ignoring is simply unacceptable. I don't care whoever it is. Now that's just me. You may be different. You might say, well, they got busy and all that. That's why you have staff, folks. You know, when we go to McDonald's, the person who's serving us is not the CEO of the company. He has employees to take care of us, right? When somebody out there is pushing all kinds of product, whether it's Tony Robbins, Oprah Winfrey, or Deepak Chopra, pushing all kinds of products at us, and then when we send them an email request, a pitch with some real ask with purpose, their staff should be good enough to respond, saying, we like your pitch, but we're going to have to kindly decline it. His time is busy, and this is not going to be his priority at this point. That is a good answer. They gave you the reason. They have to do that. If they can't do that, you should not follow anything they do, because they're making a statement that what I say is important, but when you come back to me, you're just not important. I don't even have to reply to you. I'm just going to ignore you. So the one answer that is the worst when you pitch people is ignore. Ignore is simply unacceptable, and you have right to be angry, because a no is a good answer. People have the right to refuse you if you have taken time and given a pitch. But when they ignore you, you're left to basically wonder that, my God, did they get it? Did they read it? What happened? And that you should not forget. People, when they ignore you, are making a statement. And that's something you've got to test it. When you do business with people, see who they're ignoring. Because when they ignore people, that's a message that they're sending in a very subtle way that you got to know. Okay, now again, you may have a different opinion on this. This is just my take on when you pitch people how they should respond, because that's how I respond. When somebody sends me a pitch, I will decline it, but I will decline it with a reason, or just say I'm not interested. And I do that all the time. Even when I send out a Craigslist, I put something on Craigslist, then all the people who respond, the ones that I refuse, I send them, look, thanks for responding, but I've gone with somebody else. And many of them like that and say, look, in the future, if there's something else comes up, definitely be willing to work with you. But I can only give this contract to one person, and that's what it is. And that's it. That's just me, and that's what I expect from others. You may have a different standard, but that's my standard. Let me know what you think, and thank you for watching.